What key life experiences have formed who you are today?
I would say a couple things. Firstly, childhood and being the daughter of immigrants was and still is a very formative part of my life. Both of my parents immigrated to the U.S. when they were very young, in the midst of war and revolution in their home country of Iran, and that definitely got me very, very interested from a young age in foreign policy issues and especially civic engagement and the importance of being involved here.
How did you become passionate and involved in our city in particular?
So Phoenix is my hometown. I grew up here. My family and I moved here when I was 5 from Seattle. I did dabble a little bit in campaigns when I was in high school. It's kind of when I first started getting involved and volunteering with the Arizona Democratic Party and on President Obama's first presidential campaign. And I always came back here, every break, every gap I had between jobs. And then it was really back in 2016 when Donald Trump won the presidency that I just felt much more compelled to get involved locally and kind of fight back against kind of rhetoric and policies that his administration was pushing forward.
What would you say are your core values and how are they reflected in your work?
I would say optimism and collaboration are two of my core values. I think it's really easy to get pessimistic and negative and just feel hopeless today and for quite some time now. And I'm not saying I never get that way, but I think I'm also just someone who tries to believe in what's possible and be super optimistic.
And why would you say our city is a great city?
I think Phoenix is a great city because there's just a tremendous amount of opportunity here. We are the 5th largest and fastest growing city in the country. And while on one hand, we're huge, we are the 5th largest city, it's still being shaped, and the culture and what we're all about is still being shaped. And I think there's just a lot of opportunity for young people especially.
What causes, projects, and activities are you involved in, and then how do those kind of go back to your core values and your mission?
So on the council, I would say my top 3 priorities are climate and sustainability, housing and combating homelessness, as well as COVID relief.
How do you collaborate with other groups and individuals to realize your impactful work?
It definitely takes a proactive effort. We have built really strong relationships with whether it's nonprofits, labor unions, otherwise, who share similar values with us. So we just try to, on anything that we do at the city, we do our best to do robust public engagement in that process. So on this electric vehicle roadmap that we are currently working on at the City of Phoenix, we have 14 core members in the group, in the committee, that, they come from the private sector, they come from car companies, they come from NGOs and climate advocacy groups, utilities. And then as we are working to develop the roadmap, we're making sure to include stakeholders along the way.
What other creators who are focused on similar causes, projects, and activities have influenced you?
I make an effort to follow other elected leaders around the country, especially those who are on the younger side. And I think that I definitely am a huge fan and am following the work closely of the new mayor of Boston, Michelle Wu. I think she has a very cool leadership style. I mean, her ideas are bold and big, but she's able to communicate them in a way that is very approachable.
What would you recommend I do to become a future creator of our great city?
I would recommend getting really involved with the city. I think people don't realize how much of an impact you can really make at the city level, and there are so many different ways to be involved